Even Einstein, one of the greatest minds of our time, felt like a fraud. So, if these people felt like a fraud, what does that say about the rest of us? Do you ever just feel like a fraud? Like one day everyone is going to figure out that you don't belong at that job, that role, that program? If so, let's play a game. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the put a finger down game, right? Alright, I want you to put a finger down every time I say one of these things and they apply to you. Alright, let's start with 10 fingers. Put a finger down if you've ever felt that you don't deserve to be here. It doesn't matter if it's your job, your school, your program, or just anything that you're doing. If you ever feel like you don't deserve to be here. Put a finger down if you felt like people overestimate your abilities. Put a finger down if you've been afraid to speak up in a meeting or classroom because you thought your ideas were not good enough. Put a finger down if you've ever been praised and thought to yourself, if they knew the real me, they wouldn't be impressed. Put a finger down if you've been afraid to take on a new opportunity because you were afraid that you were unqualified. Finally, put a finger down if you've overworked yourself because you felt like you needed to do more to really show that you are capable or you belong or you qualify. Okay, how many fingers do you have left? If you put down more than 2 fingers, just come in here because we have a lot to talk about. Because this, my friend, is imposter syndrome. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anike. If you're new here, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. You guys know how excited I am whenever you guys click my videos. Okay, so today's video is all about imposter syndrome. And trust me, you definitely want to hear me out because this one is gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one. I know that imposter syndrome is something that we all experience, and if you've either experienced it at one stage of your life or the other. So I really hope that you learned something from this video, and if you do, please make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and like the video, guys. If you like the video, it allows YouTube to know that this is something that is meaningful or impactful or valuable, and it would make YouTube push my videos so other people can watch it. Okay. What exactly is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is that persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud, even though there's clear evidence that you're actually competent. You could have the degree, the achievement, and even the real talent, but then there's just this whisper in your head that just says, oh, you just got lucky, right? Like you just got lucky. There's no way your degree brought you here. There's no way your talent, your experience brought you to this point, right? That is imposter syndrome. Maya Angelou once said, I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they're going to find me out now. Even Einstein, one of the greatest minds of our time, felt like a fraud. So, if these people felt like a fraud, what does that say about the rest of us? It shows that imposter syndrome isn't about reality, but it's a perception, right? Okay, let's break this down. Imposter syndrome comes in different flavor, but tell me which one sounds most like you. The first one is the perfectionist. And the thought that comes to your mind is, if I don't do this perfectly, I have failed. Could that be you? The second one is the expert, where you have thoughts like, I need to know everything before I can call myself the expert. Then we have the natural genius, where you have thoughts like, if I struggle to learn something, then I must not be good enough. And then we have the soloist, where you have thoughts like, asking for help means I'm not capable. And then the last one, who is the superwoman or superman, where you feel like you need to overwork yourself to feel like you belong. I feel like personally, I fall between the perfectionist and the expert. It's either I know something perfectly, or I need to know everything about something before I can call myself competent. Those are the kind of thoughts that I have. I would always feel like if I wasn't 100% competent or an expert on a subject, then I had no business speaking up. But what I've learned is that that is just fear in disguise. Fear of being seen, fear of being discovered. Even though I know what I'm talking about, I just have this fear that, if I show myself to know what I'm talking about or present myself as an expert on a subject field or a field of study, then it means that, I need to show a lot of educational background. I need to show you guys that I know what I'm talking about, right? This thing actually shows up if you're a social media influencer, for example. And one thing I've noticed that social media influencers are not doing, or content creators are not doing, is at the beginning of their video, they would say, my name is this. I am a YouTuber living in Canada, and I recently moved to Canada as an immigrant. And if you watch my videos, you're going to learn more about, the experience of an immigrant. They are first showing you that they have experience or they have expertise on a certain field or area, in this case immigration or just the process of moving to Canada. This will make you trust that, okay, maybe this person knows what they are talking about, so I'll give them a chance to, I'll give them a chance and listen to them, right? That's what people feel like they need to prove. They need to prove that they have experience in an area in order to get people to continue to listen to them. But again, you can just be somebody that is genuinely curious and loves to learn about different things and be able to share that information still without necessarily having to experience it yourself or go through it yourself. So let's talk about why we feel like this. This is not something that is just about one specific type of people or a specific type of personality. This is something that a lot of us experience. If you're the type of person that has never experienced imposter syndrome, then you're a special breed, really. You're a special breed, because even the smartest of them, the greatest minds of them all, experienced imposter syndrome. So this is something that we are all prone to. Right? So why do we feel like this? Why is this something that exists? When we look at this scientifically, there's evidence to suggest that our brains are wired to compare ourselves to others, and that's why we experience imposter syndrome. For example, I gave an example of social media, which makes it even worse. On social media, you are constantly seeing the highlight reels of everyone else, while you're in your house, just scrolling through whatever you are going through on that day, that specific day, right? And you're just in your own house, just scrolling through social media and making comparisons. When these people, they've experienced whatever it is they are sharing on their timeline at that point in time. But it's just, you don't even know if they're in their house crying while you are scrolling to see their highlight reel, and you're like, oh gosh, I wish this was me. Or this person knows what they are doing, this person is an expert, this person can just talk. If you're a content creator, this is something that you would likely experience. Sometimes you're like, this person talks so well, it means they are very good at being a content creator. But because maybe sometimes you mess up your words sometimes, or you don't speak a certain way, you think yourself less than because you don't necessarily look like that picture of what a content creator should be or look like. Psychologists have also shown that imposter syndrome is common in people who are high achievers or marginalized groups, or people who are new to a certain role. So if you feel this way, it doesn't mean that you don't belong. It just means that you are trying something out for the first time. You are stepping out of your comfort zone, and being out of your comfort zone forces you to grow. So it is okay for you to feel like maybe you're not good enough for for just a short period of time, but eventually you would start to feel like, okay, I deserve to be here too. I belong here, and me being here is not a mistake. It's not by chance. I'm here because of my qualifications, my achievements, my experiences, and yeah, for now it still feels foreign to me. So it will take me a while to adjust to this new environment or this new system. However, I know what I'm doing, right? You need to affirm yourself and tell yourself, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I have done this before. I have had experience before. And if you don't know what you're doing, that is also okay too, right? You can just allow yourself to push through that discomfort of being new to something. Allow yourself to stay in that discomfort. Stay in that discomfort instead of running away. Okay, I already started talking about how to overcome it and how to manage it. Now let's talk practically how to overcome imposter syndrome. The first thing you want to do is recognize it. With a lot of things, awareness helps you to heal. So first and foremost, you want to recognize it. Obviously, you cannot fight a ghost you don't see. So first and foremost, you want to see it and call it out. My next point is to reframe your thoughts. Instead of thinking, I don't belong here, I don't have what it takes, how about you think, I am new to this, but I am going to learn and grow. I'm going to get better. I am going to pick up the skills that I need to do this thing. My third point is that you should keep a success journal. Write down every win that you've ever had, whether small or big. Keep receipts for when the doubt creeps in. Again, you've done this before. If it is an area that you have experience in, really be confident in your knowledge, be confident in your experience, and show up with that confidence. So keep a success journal, because sometimes if you're like me, you have bad memory and you forget things. Sometimes we forget things, right? We forget things that we've done and we've done well. So keep a success journal, so that way you can quickly reference and see, okay, I've been able to overcome, new environment, new situations in the past. I can do this again. I have what it takes. I am capable of doing this again. My fourth point is that you should talk about it. The more we normalize this feeling of imposter syndrome, the less power it has over us. Speak about it. Talk about it. If you're in a situation where you feel like, I'm the only one that is an imposter, trust me, the next person sitting outside is also probably feeling the same thing. What are the chances that you're all imposters? It's very little now. So talk about it. Talk about it, because it is just in your head. It's just the fear of trying something new that is making you feel this way. So talk about it. Share it with the people around you. Share it. Talk about it loudly so people can tell you that this feeling is normal, right? We need to normalize the idea that imposter syndrome is something that we all experience, and it doesn't mean that we are all imposters. It just means it's a feeling that comes up when you are trying something new for the first time, or you are comparing yourself to someone else when you don't really know what is behind all of the things that you see, right? My fifth point is that you should focus on growth over perfection. It's not about never failing. It's about getting back up when we fail. When we expose ourselves to unfamiliar situations and we fail, it's not like you will always fail, but sometimes maybe you miss something, or you don't get something right and you fail. That's okay, right? Tell yourself it's okay and look for the lesson in that situation. Failure is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Instead of seeing it as a problem or the end of you, or personalizing it, just see it as, okay, there is still more for me to learn. There's still more for me to, grow, which is good. Growth is good. I'm going to do a video talking about growth mindsets versus scarcity mindsets, because this is something that a lot of us need to know and be aware of. When you're in that growth mindset, you are able to take on new challenges and see failure as an opportunity to grow rather than a thing of shame. And finally, own your achievement. Stop attributing everything to luck. You've worked for this. You did this. You were able to achieve this. So it's okay. Tell yourself that I did this, right? When you've accomplished something and you're like, it's probably luck. That thought comes to your mind where it's like, maybe they did not pay too much attention and did not notice. It's okay. Like, take your win and own it and tell yourself that I did this. I have what it takes to do this. Okay, so for my faith-based folks on here, let's get a little deeper and look at it from a biblical perspective. A lot of us struggle with imposter syndrome because we base our worth on what we do rather than who we are. But God never called the qualified. He doesn't call you because you are the smartest person in the room. He doesn't call you to purpose because you are the most intelligent or the prettiest person in the room. No, He qualifies those He has called. So if He has called you, let's believe He's going to give you everything you need to achieve whatever it is that you are setting your mind to. Let's look at the story of Moses, for example. I've talked about Moses in a previous video, but I also want to look at it because it fits perfectly into this example of imposter syndrome. Moses had a speech impediment, but he still led a nation out of slavery. Like, bro, which means you don't even have to speak perfectly. You don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to be the most handsome person to be able to do that which God has called you to do. Another example is the story of Gideon, who was hiding in fear, but God called him to lead. I just want to encourage you that your worth isn't tied to how perfect you are or how flawless you are, but tied to who made you, which is God. If you can just put yourself in that mind frame that if God has called me to do something, it means I have everything that I need to be able to do it. So instead of you doubting and questioning whether or not you are qualified, think about the person that brought you into that space. And that's why I love having a relationship with God, because it allows you to know that at the end of the day, it is not about you. It's about who called you. It is about who you worship. It is about your Father, which is God. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. You are not a fraud. You are in this season for a reason. And even when you don't feel qualified, you are still called. Now, I want to hear from you. What part of this video resonated with you? Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And what kind of thoughts do you have? Based on the examples I gave as to how imposter syndrome shows up or manifests, which one do you think applies most to you? If you watched this video up to this point, please make sure to leave a comment, like, share, and please subscribe. Also, turn on your post notifications so when I post, you'll be one of the first people to know that I've uploaded. You belong here, okay? So I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.